Welcome to episode 12 of the Chelsea Ladies Show. A lot to discuss this week. A lot has been happening, and we've got another very special guest for you guys. So without further ado, cue the intro.
Don't know how I'm here, and it's you that I want to need. Feel your heartbeat, feel somewhere you're looking good. Feel your heartbeat, feel somewhere you're looking good.
Welcome everybody back to DNA TV, and as you can see, we are joined by our usual panelists. The lovely Beth is in the building, everybody. And after such a long time, because she's been busy working her backside off, Sophia is back, everybody. So yes, Charles will be joining us. I think she went a little bit late, but she will be joining us as well. I think the only person missing this week is Joyce because she has exams, but she will be back with us next week. So guys, how's the week been?
It's been a good week, I think. We had a nice win against Everton to start it off. It's been great. I got my first uni assignment back and I did fine, which is good. And yeah, it's been great.
This is what we like to see. So, guys, there's about 13 people in the building already. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, share the stream. We've got Jordan in the house again. Beth, your number one fan. DJ, big ups to you. How are you doing? We are doing good. So, guys, before we get into the discussion, let's introduce our very, very special guest for today. You've probably seen her on the Gold Diggers podcast. You've probably seen her on Midnight Vibes with myself as well. She's here, there, everywhere. Guys, it's the lovely bitches.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey, how are you doing, B? Welcome to the show.
I'm good. Thank you for having me on.
Man, we have so much to discuss. And literally, as I was introducing you, Charles, she's late, guys, but she's here. Okay?
I'm late for a reason. My dog decided to go outside. 20 minutes.
Bruno's
20 minutes.
Again.
I'm gonna tell you. Oh, I know. Shock. The most innocent dog in the world is misbehaving. Let me tell you, that dog is pushing every one of my buttons. I thought I was bad as a child. My dog is the devil reincarnated. The dog is pushing my buttons. He goes right to the back of a 2-acre garden and hides under the bushes where I can't see him. Then I have to put my sliders on, walk all the way up to the bushes. Then he decides to run back when I do that 15 minutes later. I tell you now. No.
Oh dear. Well, join us.
I miss Charlotte so much.
She's got her wine ready. She is ready to go. Bruno's already given her problems. Bruno, her dog, not Fernandez.
Who's Bruno? Bruno who? The only person I know is Frank Bruno. I only know Frank Bruno. Sorry, my bad. I'm already on one tonight. This is like, just to clarify,
going to be so good.
I haven't drunk for a week. So, like, this is the first time I'm drinking again. So, all hell's about to break loose.
Oh dear. Did you hear that, guys? I hope you are ready. So,
Yay, Sophia here, though.
yes, she's back.
I'm here for this.
The only person missing is Joy. So, next week, we're probably going to have every single one of our
A reunion
back on. So, yes, a reunion. So, guys, let's try and start off on a positive note. Well, positive for us, I guess. B can provide us with a neutral perspective as a rival fan. So, of course, I'm going to start us off with the Everton versus Chelsea game that began this week. So, of course, we were the last to play out of everybody. We really needed to win, and we got the W and 3 points quite comfortably. So, thoughts on the game? Who stood out to you? And, yeah, B. Over to you first.
That game was pretty disappointing for me anyway. I'm a United fan.
No, your man did not turn up, did he?
I know. I have, some love for Lewin. However, he didn't turn up in the game. I was expecting them to put up a little bit more of a fight, but I think you guys had it pretty easy, to be honest. You guys played well. I'll give you that. Disappointing for me, I must say. I'm a big hater. But there's nothing much I can say on it. Like, I was just disappointed. I didn't watch the whole game because I was like, if there's no point watching it if Everton are not going to put up a fight. And then all I had was Chelsea fans, messaging me. I don't know why, but I think Chelsea fans are excited again because they're winning again, and they look to finish the season quite strongly. So, yeah.
Yeah, man, I can't disagree. Moving on, before I move on to Beth, is there any players that you thought stood out in that game that maybe they deserve a bit of credit where they were previously not getting it?
German guy
in the midfield, for example. I don't know, just off my head.
I reserve my comments. I'm joking.
If they're in the shade, I love it.
Well, I think I don't think I want to credit them quite yet. No. Not yet.
Fair enough. She's holding back criticism. But Beth, over to you, because your Twitter name is rightfully been.
We made it.
Yeah, you put your Twitter name. He's made you proud of your Twitter name finally. So, what are your thoughts on the game? Who stood out to you? And
It was a good game. I was happy with it. I think Everton did all right, keeping us quite quiet in the first half, but the second half we kind of stood up to the challenge anyway and just carried on. I mean, we're already 1-0 up, but it was really good. And yes, Ben, thank you. Yeah, I was really happy with it. Havertz had like an amazing game. My heart, oh my god! But when the goal was like disallowed for the sleeve thing, like
the shoulder, innit?
Like they'll get like offside.
I mean,
if their sleeve's offside.
It was at the bottom of his shirt.
But
like,
it's just so annoying.
Crazy.
I feel like you'd be annoyed if like a Man United player scored that goal and it wasn't given.
I mean, because I know, like from the start of the season, I've been saying that there's like the sleeve is the point that they mark for offside for goals like that. So I just expected it. Once I saw it, I thought, yeah, it's at the bottom of the sleeve. So yes, it's not going to be given. If it was further up, like we saw, what game was it that we saw that? I can't even remember what game it was, but it hit like the shoulder up here. That was fine. But yeah, I wasn't shocked by it. I mean, Chelsea fans were complaining. I get it, but the rules,
yeah.
isn't it?
It was annoying.
If these handball rules need to be, because obviously Luke Shaw almost did a madness because he thought that United should have got a penalty against us. But again, harsh. All of these, the lines are just so blurred. It's so just hard. But anyway, Sophia, Chelsea put in a great performance. So you're back with us. At least you're back here talking about a win. Thoughts on the game?
I actually only managed to see the second half because of work, but from what I saw, that was a pretty good second half. And of course, Kai Havertz, the star boy, I was like, he's finally getting his due credit, but there's still some people, like, oh no, but you just have to brush it off, don't you? They think they know everything, but there's some people that just hate giving him credit, and I'm just like, he plays for a team,
but he hasn't been performing for a while though.
I get that, but like his one amazing game, like so many people giving him credit, and some people they're just like, no, I can't give him credit. Like he had a good game, like no, like it was deserved. Like his one game, he deserved credit, and there's still people like no. But apart from that, it was a good game. We're on a really good streak, thankfully, and hopefully we can keep it up with Champions League. Going to come up again soon. I'm still very nervous about
I'm
that. but-
excited. I'm excited for that game next week.
I'm very excited. I definitely want to get your opinions on that game as well, because obviously, Charles, great performance from Kai. We have to play Kai because Mason Mount suspended in the Atletico Madrid second leg. So
Yeah, but we don't have to play him against the Leeds game, so I'm happy with that. Do you know what my problem is? Is that everyone's bigging him up, and it's been one game. I'd understand if it'd been like 10 or 11 games and it had been consistent, but he's come back from. Yes, I want him to succeed before anyone comes for me. But when you've had one game and you're coming at me like, yeah, this is the old Havertz, he's coming. Like, it's one game, man. Like, it's 90 minutes. Pipe down, take 5 minutes, reevaluate your life, go to a retreat, do something. But let me tell you now, don't come and say this is Havertz reinvented until I just need to see some consistency. That's all I want. I just like, cool story. I'll praise you for the Everton game. You were great, but continue showing me that. Because if you're not going to continue showing me that, and you're going to have one good game and then just be rubbish again, I'm not interested in you.
He has to have the chance, though. He has to have the chance. You're saying he doesn't play against Leeds. He has to have the chance to have those games.
No, but I'm saying if he's going to be playing in the Atletico game, which he is, why are we not resting him? Mason Mount and Jorginho are not playing in the Atletico game, so they should be played to rest players against Atletico, because you know Atletico are going to come at us because we are 1 goal up. So
No,
why shouldn't we rest players? Yes, bring Havertz on for like 20 minutes as a sub. I don't want these players getting injured. We don't need any injuries. We don't need any players being like injured, like maybe have an occurring injury reoccur. I don't need any of that. I just need these players to be safe, because we don't have the backup of Mount and Jorginho. As you said, Beth, we don't have that backup anymore. Like, we just have to rely on these players. So why shouldn't, I'm not saying don't bring them on. Like, even if you bring Havertz on for the first half and then chuck him off at half time, for me, it's just the risk of getting Havertz or any injury. Any injury can happen at any time. For me, we don't have the backup of Mount and Jorginho, so why shouldn't we rest them and why shouldn't we play Jorginho and Mount if knowing they're not going to play the next game? It's a safety risk that we have, that we can play them and not have to worry.
The thing with Jorginho, like, he's going to play against Leeds anyway, so that's for sure. That's a given.
Yeah.
With Kai Havertz, we need to recognize that, again, like, this is the second game that he's really kind of played under Tuchel as well. Before that, you know, he was out of injury. He had COVID as well. Very poor man management under Lampard as well, playing him out of position. Obviously, the guy wasn't happy. You could see it in his mood as well. But even when he was still supposedly below par, considering everybody's expectations of him, understand the guy still scored a hat-trick against Barnsley very easily. This is the same team that Christian Pulisic and Hakim Ziyech were complete dog shite.
Do we have to talk about them? Do we have to talk about those two?
No, but just to basically...
You know my opinions on them.
I know, but just to basically draw the comparison where I feel like I can see that improvement under in Kai Havertz, and I feel like it's only going to get better under Tuchel. I thought he played okay. I think it was in the Wolves game as well. Granted, in this Everton game, I feel like the reason why he shone so much was they were missing the presence of like James in midfield to give them to provide creativity for them. They were missing people like Decore, who we know is very strong and solid in that midfield position. So we're looking in the midfield, and people like Kai Havertz have tons of space to just turn, take their time, play the puck. He has a lot of that time, and partly the reason to do with that is because Everton did afford that to him, whereas, like you said, against Atletico Madrid, they are not going to give him that space in midfield. You're absolutely right. So I agree with you in the sense where Mason Mount will play against Leeds, but I think it's important to rotate Kai in for 20 minutes.
I'm not saying Havertz needs to play, but for me personally, Mount and Jorginho need to play the like more of percentage of the game for me, because then there's less risk of any injuries. And also we have to remember, this is, like Lam said, this is his like second game under Tuchel. His first game, like full game, like nearly full game of minutes Like we don't know how tired. We don't know how tired he. We're not gonna know how tired he's gonna be. We're not gonna know what his recovery time's like because no one knows the full concept of COVID. So we don't really know. So for me,
He had it really bad. He had it really
yeah, and but look at the season. He's been out for the most of the season with this, which I don't want to wish upon anybody. But we've got to deal with the fact that we need to protect him at the minute because we need to not tire him out because we need him in the Atletico game. So for me, I'd bring him on at like the 65th minute and let him play for that. 60th, 70th minute. Like for me, I just think it's the better opportunity for us. So we actually know that he's getting minutes on with a different team, but he's still capable for playing with the Atletico because you don't want him starting, playing 60 minutes in the Leeds game, him end up being so tired that he's not at his full potential against the Atletico game because that's just us kicking ourselves in kicking our own selves down. And I don't want to do that. Like I want to come out Atletico fighting with a team that is fully fit. And if we're not capable of doing that, like then I'm not cool with this. But I know Tuchel will work around that and have some kind of idea. But I just think we need to kind of maybe this is his second match back. Like let's be a little bit careful with him. Like let's not underestimate how what the effects of COVID are.
I mean, fair enough, especially with the how injury prone some of our squad players are. But I think, you know, give credit to Tuchel. I think his man management of our squad since he's come in.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Great. He rotated and literally tried to use like all of the squad. I think has been great. So quickly before we move on, quick yes or no from everybody. Will Chelsea make the top four? B.
Yes.
I was such a reluctant yes.
I know,
I thought about
literally.
it for a second, but then I thought, yeah, no, you are.
Beth?
Yeah, I think we will.
Sophia?
Yeah, definitely.
Charles?
I'm saying with chest right now, we are finishing above Man United. Second place, top four. Game over.
Yeah, I know somebody else who agrees with you. I agree with you too.
Yes, monster. I agree with you.
No.
I'm sorry. No. Hold on. I'll give you a reason for why I think this.
Okay.
Okay, so for me, it's not. I think if we had not changed our manager, I don't think we'd be having this discussion. But fact is, we've changed our manager, and we're going to be on the up for a bit. And hopefully for a long time now, like for the next 2 years that Tuchel's in. But you guys, you've played really well this season. My question is, can you keep it up? You have injuries. No, but you've played well enough to keep you. No. You've played well enough to keep second for how long? I don't remember the last time you weren't second. This is my point. Like, can you guys keep up? You've got Pogba injured. Cavani's been injured now and then. Like, is he 100% fit? You've got some key injuries. Like, I'm questioning, and Rashford as well. Yeah, that's a big one. I'm questioning, can you, with these injuries, and can you sustain it till the end as second? And I don't see that happening. I see you losing some games, losing points, and I mean, if you look at the London clubs you've played, the last 3 London clubs you've played when you come to London, because apparently, Man, you don't like London very much. Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Chelsea, 0-0. So I'm just wondering, like, if it's going to affect you, and that's just me being silly, but can you sustain with injuries in that second place? I don't think so.
All right, so we're going to get onto that. So this week, of course, was the return of European football amongst the few Premier League games here and there. But we're only going to talk about 2 of these games before we move on to the Europa League games, because I know B is itching to spill about what she thinks of Man United's performance in that game. But
I want to hear what she said.
let's talk about the first huge shock exit of the Champions League, and that's, of course, Juve going out to 10-man Porto. Ronaldo in the match once again. Again, this is what we're going to discuss. B, was it a shock for you? Did you expect it?
Yeah, it was a shock. No, it was a shock. Juve were not meant to go out in that leg. They had it was their opportunity but they just didn't take it because Porto they won on away goals. It wasn't like it was a massive difference in aggregate or anything like that. It was just an away goal. Juve, they had the time to do it. They just disappointing. But I think that's with the Champions League this season as well. It just hasn't. I just don't feel like it's been. Some of the games have been really exciting. Don't get me wrong, but teams are not performing to the standards that they should be. I don't think they are. But yeah, man, I think it was a shock for me anyway because I thought Juve would win.
I genuinely did as well. Beth, the amount of chances Morata missed during that game, is it fair for people to be getting onto Timo and his misses after we saw that?
Yes, you can get onto both.
You know, Morata, I mean, like, I'm not really that surprised, let's be honest. I mean, he's been doing okay, but, like, he's not... No, okay, he proved at Chelsea that he can't do it everywhere, can he? So, whatever. But, well, Timo, I mean... It's frustrating with Timo because you just want to support him as for some reason I never actually felt that way inclined with Morata, but something about Timo is his attitude, and he's always trying to work for the team even when it's not like getting goals. It just always feels like so unlucky when like his goals get ruled offside or whatever, but I believe like because he's still getting in all of those chances that he should still come good because he gets quite a few chances per game, unlike Fernando Torres, who eventually just gave up and started assisting. I remember when he was like clear on goal against Liverpool, and maybe it was just because it was against Liverpool, but instead of just putting the ball straight in the net, he passed to Willian to score because his confidence was gone. So as long as Werner keeps getting in the chances and keeps trying, I'm not going to be too disappointed in him, and hopefully he'll get better.
Mm-hmm. Be a little shout out for you down there. Sophia, what do you think? Disappointing performance for Juventus. Should they have done better considering that they were against 10 men?
I think so, definitely.
It's not good enough.
I don't know what happened. And I mean, I saw people saying like, oh, you know, Ronaldo's done. And I'm just like,
say that every year.
It was just like, I don't know. I don't want to say it was like a fluke victory for Porto, but I don't know. I mean, it's just another surprising thing like from football this year. Just, I don't know. But to be honest, I was just more gassed about Borussia Dortmund and, you know, Haaland. He's like the new king of Europe. So
Wow. Immense right now. Like, oh my goodness. Wow. This guy just can't seem to stop. But as great as Borussia Dortmund's attack is, we don't want their defense. Their defense is calamitous.
Oh, yeah.
I think most of these German teams, their best defense is attack, because the way they ship in goals, my goodness, and Leipzig as well, which we'll get to afterwards. Charles, thoughts on you?
I expected it. When you do a Lampard, which is what I'm calling it, when you put Pirlo, they've put. Now I have respect for Pirlo as a footballer. As a manager, he doesn't have any experience, and you've put him in a big club with so much potential, and he's not doing anything. Like, Pirlo is doing a Lampard, and people are like, oh, I'm so shocked Juve are out. I'm not. They're in a Lampard situation. What did you expect? Did you expect Pirlo to come in and be like this miracle god? No, that's not how it works. Like, he needs experience, and he hasn't. This is my problem. Managers have to start from the bottom and work to the top. Like Steven Gerrard is doing with Rangers, starting from the bottom and you work your way up. This is not how you work. You don't get put in
for winning the Scottish League. By the way.
Yeah, but they don't get put in, like, when you put Pirlo in a club, like, and for me, I think there's also a few issues with, like, the fact that Ronaldo's similar ages. There's no, like, boundaries or anything like that, especially when you're unexperienced. There's no boundaries. When you know it's the manager's fault when Ronaldo in the first leg, I didn't even realize was on the pitch until the 65th minute when I saw him on TV. I mean, that is when you realize you have problems because you always know when Ronaldo's on the pitch. Yes, it was close, but for me, I didn't expect. I expected a last goal from Porto, and I expected them to go through. I think Pirlo needs more experience before he came to Juve. I think, this is the first time Juve haven't won Serie A in how long? Like, you always know. Oh, it's always, and you're always going, oh, Juve winning the Serie A again. Ugh. Like, you're always saying that, like, why can't that be my club? But now they're not winning that. They've been kicked out the Champions League, all because their manager has no experience. Like, and people are shocked. Like, it's like a Lampard situation. No tactics, struggling to control a team, struggling with tactical basis, struggling with the man management. Like, I can continue my list on. I love Pirlo. Like, for me as a footballer, Pirlo, beautiful. The man was a genius on the ball. I love him. It's like Dennis Wise for me. Pirlo is Dennis Wise, but in the Italian league. Like, he really is. The man's beautiful. But I can't support him when he's struggling at a club and when he's making Ronaldo, one of the greatest players in the world, look like that. And I called this out and someone was like, oh, Ronaldo doesn't have to prove trophies. And I'm like, it's not about that. It's the fact that for me, Ronaldo looked like he was missing in a game. No one's ever had that before. Like, yes, you have bad games, but Ronaldo's never had a game like these bad. And that's because his manager doesn't know what he's doing. Like, it's frustrating because I don't care if he doesn't win trophies. For me, he's an incredible footballer. But when you've got a manager, and as for Morata, I want to come back to this Beth thing with Morata. Just to clarify, Morata has had a better season than Timo Werner. He has more goals, he has more assists, and he's actually turned up. Yes, he had a bad game, but if you look at the goal counts,
I didn't compare them.
I'm just saying, Morata's had a bad has had a bad game, but has had not a great season, but he's had a season where he's actually got goals and he's actually done something for his
team. I'm not comparing them. I just don't rate Morata because when he played for us, he didn't.
They're not going to win Serie A and they're out the Champions League. I suppose it's just not good enough. Anyway, talking of title winners falling from grace. Liverpool are currently in the middle of their worst title defense in the Premier League. They did manage to push past Leipzig in the end. Was it easy for Liverpool in the end, B?
Yeah, it really was. I think that's the only competition at the moment that they have to cling on to. It's not going well in the Premier League. So the Champions League is something that the fans and the manager can actually look towards. I don't know if they can go all the way, but certainly they did well to get past this round. And the next one, we'll have to see. But I think if they can manage to do well in the Champions League, that can somewhat make their season not look as bad. Because if they drop out in the next round, well, tears from you Liverpool fans are going to be immense. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it was easy for them, and they did really well.
Yeah, I have to agree. Beth, what team would Liverpool really struggle against if they drew them in the next round?
I don't know. Chelsea. Probably Bayern Munich, but they're in a bit of a drop of form, aren't they, Bayern Munich? But I think Bayern Munich, when they beat us last season, it was last season, wasn't it? I'm trying to block it out my memory. That was like the worst game I've ever seen us get absolutely outclassed on every single level. And they've still got most of those players, so I'm sure they could do it again to Liverpool, especially if Liverpool in the form they're on. So I probably wouldn't like to play Bayern Munich. Beatrice, look. Fine club going.
Comments are wild sometimes, but boy, listen, the comments were near as wild as the stream me and Charles and Jan were on last night.
Oh, no.
It was mad. Sophia, how poor were Bayern Munich? All this talk about Bayern Munich. How poor were Leipzig defensively, and did we as Chelsea dodge a bullet now that we're definitely not going to get Upamecano?
I think, yeah, just, I don't know, just something about Leipzig, like, they can only get so far. They're like, kind of like fraudsters in a way. Like, they get far, like, in the beginning, and then in the end, they're just like, shh. So I guess they're kind of like the German Liverpool in a way. But I don't know, something about them. It's just
The German Liverpool.
They just had like all the money like pumped into them. Thought they were amazing. They had like 2 good seasons, and I don't know. They just don't get very far. They're just really average. So I don't know. I don't really have much comment. I mean, obviously, it was kind of Timo that was holding them up a lot. So yeah, I think because they built the team around him as well. So I guess it's kind of hard for them to get back on their feet and kind of rearrange themselves. But yeah, we definitely dodged a bullet with that one, definitely.
So, are Leipzig, do you feel, getting into similar dealings as, say, Borussia Dortmund, where they're basically going to start getting rid of some of their best players each season, and they're going to go to like the rival big guns, i.e. Bayern Munich, the giants of European football at the moment. Do you see that? Do you see their club going in this direction, or do you feel like they can eventually break into becoming title contenders, being up there with Bayern Munich, being up there with Borussia Dortmund?
Do you know what? Leipzig haven't had a bad season this season. They haven't. But my problem is that when it gets to these big games, they kind of seem to be like, it's a big game. No, I gotta run.
Like Man United doing this year.
Yeah, they got 5-0 by United.
When United get to semi-finals, they bottle it. And like, I don't know what it is about semi-finals, but I think Ollie has this bad juge where he's like, semi-final, I got my Ollie juge. Yeah, here's my Ollie juice. Yeah, I'm gonna spray it everywhere so you guys don't make
To be honest, we've had hard semi-finals.
Yeah,
we've actually had hard games.
Oh, that's cool too. Like, but I mean, we played Bayern Munich in the Champions League final, but we still won it. So I mean, we can talk about hard games. Anyway, Leipzig for me, like I think they can bounce back from it. I don't think they should be selling players, and at this point in time. Maybe if we're talking about this next season at this point, maybe they have to. But for me, I think they've still got that chance to kind of big it up. They've still got another season, I believe. The Liverpool game is expected. When you said Liverpool's title defence, I was questioning what a title defence of Liverpool's title was, because this has not been a title defence. This has been an like we all knew, like everyone should have known from the minute Aston Villa beat them 7-2. It was game over. That was when their title defence ended. Like it wasn't coming up anywhere else. Liverpool. This is their only chance. Liverpool's only chance of getting in the Champions League is the Champions League, winning the Champions League. That's the only way Liverpool are going to end up in the Champions League. Right now, Liverpool are fighting for Europa Conference League.
Yeah, they're in it.
Yeah, they're fighting to get into the Europa Conference. Like, cool story. Like, that's cool. Like, you enjoy that. But yeah, no, they're not. For me personally, they don't have the squad depth. For me, I don't think they're going to beat Bayern Munich. I don't even think they're going to beat PSG.
I think they'd struggle against them, actually.
Do you know what?
I think they're
going to struggle against Man City as well. Do you know what? This is what I really want to happen. And I've never wanted something more to happen in my life. Okay. Man City play Liverpool next. They kick Liverpool out. They're like, see you later. We've done it in the Premier League. We're doing it in the Champions League. But it's just a beautiful way to see it. Any fan,
I mean, to be fair, Man City they've got their own Champions League blocks as well, which they've got their own mentality.
Do you know what? I think the problem is that Liverpool only have one lifeline left to get into the Champions League, and that's not me being horrible. That's me being factual. I don't see them. They're not turning up in the Premier League. And how many times can you be like, oh, Liverpool are going to turn up again. They'll turn up again. No, they're not. They're doing shit in the Premier League. Let's all admit that. Shit. Absolutely rubbish. I'm sorry, me dog could play better than some of their players in the team. Now, let's talk about the Champions League, because it really does depend who they get next. If they get someone like PSG or Bayern Munich, they're done. Then what happens to Liverpool? Because I'm pretty sure Klopp's not staying around to preach a team that's in the Conference League.
Well,
I think he will stay. No, I think he will stay.
If they don't, if they're not getting in the Conference League, my bad. That was me being nice. They're not actually getting in the Conference League. For me, personally, Liverpool are finishing 8th or 9th. Facts.
Well,
I think
the German job has just opened, so
but there's only so many times you can say Liverpool are going to turn up. Do you know what the problem I have is? Liverpool have the players. It's not like they have the world's shittest players in the world. They have Mo Salah and Sadio Mane. Are they turning up right now? No.
Yeah,
Do you know what the problem is?
Mo's been good.
Do you know what the problem is? Mo Salah and Sané can turn up in the Champions League, but when it comes to the Premier League, they just don't give a shit.
I don't think that's fair, because Mo Salah is the
highest scorer.
No, I know, but if you look at recent games, he hasn't been himself. He
hasn't been himself the whole season, but he's still top goal scorer.
No, that's cool, and I accept that. I'm saying that, but just because you're top goal scorer doesn't mean you've been good this season.
No, I know that. I'm just saying you can't say he's the reason why they're in the position they're in.
No, I'm not. I was just stating that, like, I was giving an example. Like, I was just saying that they don't turn up in the Premier League like Salah and Mane, people you expect to turn up, like people who have been incredible for a few seasons now, that haven't actually turned, but they can turn up in the Champions League. This is my point. I'm talking about the whole of the Liverpool team. Yeah. I'm just giving examples, which is really shit. But I'm saying that the Liverpool team don't turn up in the Premier League, but this is a different Liverpool team we saw in the Champions League. That's my point. And if I was a Liverpool fan, I would be absolutely bright red raging. Because I'm telling you now, that this is the problem. The team can turn up in the Champions League. The Premier League, they're like, what is the Premier League? Who cares? Like,
I think that might be a mentality thing, though, because in the Champions League, they've actually got something to fight for. In the Premier League, they know it's over. They know they're not going to get top 4.
But it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. They made it that way. Liverpool made it that way, so they're not fighting, and they have nothing to fight for anymore. It wasn't a choice. It wasn't like it had to happen. They chose for it to happen. They just didn't turn up. And that's the point, is that then they chose not to turn up in the Premier League, but they chose to turn up in the Champions League, because now they only have one lifeline left. It's got to the point where they have to turn up in the Champions League because they have one lifeline left. And the only way Liverpool are getting in the Champions League is winning it. And I don't think they're winning it.
I don't think so either. But anyway, forget Liverpool because they're crap, yeah? They're not even in our rivals, guys. We look upwards.
I'm sorry, who are Liverpool? Who are Liverpool? If I look down,
let's move on to some of our other Premier League top 4 rivals who are also involved in a European competition. And I think arguably the most difficult ties of the Europa League competition. So yesterday saw United take on AC Milan in the first leg. Obviously, we know there's injuries on both sides, even more so associated with Manchester United. This is a cup, a competition tournament, which they are favourites for. Little bit of an underwhelming performance, I have to say. But I'm going to hand it over to, Queen of Manchester United, Beth. I mean, not Beth. Beth does not support Man United, sorry. She's a Chelsea fan, Beatrice. So, over to Beatrice. Your thoughts on the game. What did you think? And how do you now perceive going into this return leg?
United, once again, we started off very poorly. I think we were quite lucky in the first half, to be honest, because they had goals ruled out, and they were just overall a bigger threat than we were to them. It was disappointing, honestly. It wasn't a good game. And for most of the first half, I was just thinking, are we going to actually win this game? Second half came along and we did a lot better. We played a lot better. Ahmad coming on, we saw some movement from him and he actually scored a really good goal. Really brilliant pass from Bruno. That was really good. Then I thought, okay, we've got a goal. Now it's the time to push on. But we didn't quite do that. We kind of held on from then on. I think we controlled the game a little bit after that goal. But then Ole did what Ole does. He brought on defensive players and took off our attackers. And so that then leaves us to invite pressure. And we've done this time and time again. It's like a pattern. We've done it so many times in so many different games, and we continuously do it. And of course, we're going to concede a goal because this is what happens all the time. Every time we go defensive, the chances of us conceding a goal become higher. And I just don't understand why we continually do the same thing when it produces the same results. So the goal coming in last minute was just typical United. You just expect it because we invited so much pressure onto ourselves and we're having to defend so much, having 5 defenders at the back. So 1-1 draw. Overall, it's not a bad result, but the next leg is going to be really difficult. We're going away to Milan, and they've got everything to... Sorry?
Zlatan will be back for the next leg as well.
Oh my goodness.
I think, another one of their players as well, another one of their midfield players who's out, that he'll be back for the next leg as well. Do you think they're going to struggle because of the injuries and the lack of their squad depth? Or do you think it's time for Ole to give, say, players like Diallo, Van der Beek more of a chance?
I think Van der Beek is actually injured. I'm not sure what the injury is, but he's actually injured, so he's not going to be playing. Rashford could potentially be back for that game. I know he won't be playing this weekend, but he could be back for the next game. That will be a big help because if Rashford's not back, then the only people we've actually got we've only got Greenwood and we've got Diallo. That's really it. So we're going to have to rely on them two if Rashford doesn't come back. So it's not going to be an easy game at all. It's going to be pretty tough. Pogba's not going to be back yet. Oof.
God, you guys miss him.
Yeah, we're going to have to rely on some counter-attacking football and make sure we don't make any defensive errors, because if we do, then it might be curtains. But let's hope for the best and we'll see what happens next week.
Yeah, Beth, were you impressed by United's performance? A goal from their new signing, Amad Diallo. Thoughts? Will they progress next week?
Well, I didn't really catch much of the game. What was I doing? I was doing something else. I don't remember what anyway. But I think Man United could win, but Man United have been very inconsistent. Like, I think they're quite lucky that they've been quite clinical most of the season. So where all the other teams have also been very inconsistent, they've been able to take advantage of it and move ahead. But in a knockout sort of Champions League game, they're going to have to make sure that, balling Man United turn up, as opposed to we're playing for a 0-0 or a penalty kind of Man United, So it's a hard game and it's hard to call. I think it's going to be a really interesting one. I'll actually try and watch the second leg, but I didn't watch the last game, so I can't comment on how they played. I don't know.
Yeah. Sophia, did you watch the game? Did you catch the highlights? Did you expect?
No, I had better things to do, I'm afraid. I'm being honest, just Europa League, it doesn't really interest me. If it's not my team, then it doesn't interest me. Sorry.
To quote Joyce, we only watch champagne football over here.
Oh, wow.
He's like, yeah, I'm not coming back. Charles, what are your thoughts on the game? Can they do it? Do they have the minerals to finish the job off in the second half? Thoughts on Diallo? Should United try and include him more, give him more minutes? And yeah.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to... I think Beatrice is going to be shocked by this now. United should have won this leg. They should have. Because you defended. You got the goal in the 50th minute. You defended so well. You let a goal in by mistake. it was a good goal, you know. I'm not even coming. Both goals were great. I'm not even playing with
The
that.
second
But
goal was more of a mistake.
yeah,
On
that's
our
what that's
part,
what
yeah.
that's what I mean. Like, you guys, the only reason that they are tired is because you guys made a mistake.
That
It's
was a
not, but
mad goal though. If that counted,
yeah, no,
goal.
and I get that.
Yeah.
But my point is that it wasn't their own initiative. You guys made a mistake, and they got a goal from that. Like, the only reason they're tied with you guys is because of you guys. Like, it's not because like anything else. I think if Zlatan's back, yes, game over. Man United, see you later. I'm sorry. I thought I didn't know. I'd
He's
heard
a
that.
bit slow, you know. He's a
No,
bit slow.
I'd heard that Zlatan wasn't back next game. I'd heard he'd been out for both. He was going to be out for both legs, is what they predicted. Obviously, I was wrong. Like, but I mean, he's a difference maker, though. He gets those goals when they're needed. He gets good goals. He gets them goals in the last minute. He just gets goals, man. I just, and with your injuries as well, like, and if you don't have those injuries fit by the time the second leg comes, I think United are in trouble. I think injuries will be the downfall of you guys. I don't think it will be the capability. I think it will be the injuries more so, especially if you don't have Rashford back. I think Rashford's important, especially like because Rashford and Cavani have both have had injuries around the similar same time. Cavani's just come back from one, and Rashford's now on one.
I agree with that.
No, but what I'm saying, but you did. If you look at it that way, you did deserve to win because from 50th minute onwards, you defended, whether it was good defending or not. They didn't get a goal in to the 92nd minute. That's my
that was
point.
only the second half. The first half, we were actually honestly.
Yeah, no.
lucky.
That's why I haven't commented on the first half. That's why I haven't commented on the first half. I was trying to give you praise here. Like, I was trying to praise Man United. Never do that. Everyone knows I never do that. I was trying to be like, you guys made a mistake, and that's why that's why you're 1-1. Not anything else. That's not what I'm saying. If you look at it in the goal wise, you shouldn't have let that goal in. The mistake shouldn't have been made. But I think it depends. I know United want it. I'm not saying that, but I think United could shock me, and I could be really, really wrong here. I've known teams to do that. I've opened my big gob and I've said stuff, and then like it comes back to bite me. But you know what? I'm struggling to see if Zlatan's back and the Milan team are like fully fit, and Man United don't have a fully fit team, whether you are capable. I'm not ruling you out, but I'm saying if Zlatan's back and you don't have a fully fit team, I'm saying it's more like a 80-20 chance. If you guys are fully fit and they are as well, I'd say it's like a 60-40. But Diallo, man, he opened his scoring record. Whew, what a goal! I was just sat there like, hi.
That was the only good thing about the match.
Just to clarify, that goal was. I can't even, as much as a Chelsea fan I want to, I can't even disrespect that goal. That goal, I was watching that goal. I watched it when they played it in slow motion, and I was like, my mind was blown. It was such a good goal. Like, you need to play him more. You need to play him more.
I think,
which brings me, Shah, to my next question before we move on, because we've got maybe just under 10 minutes left as well. So yeah, time keeping. Quick question to every single one of you guys. So yes or no? Brief explanation as to why you think yes or no. B, are United winning the Europa League or not? Why?
I don't want to jinx it, so I'm gonna say at this current point in time, we don't look likely. Just because of our performances lately, they just haven't been good. And because there's still so many good teams in the Europa League, so it's not looking likely unless we can turn things around and start to actually play well. Then I'd say we will.
Very,
So I'm on the fence.
very, and it's not like you to be on the fence, B. So fair play, fair play. That's Prime's job. Prime is on the fence, literally. Beth, can they win? Yes or no? Quick reasons why.
No, Ole tax. That's why.
Fair enough. That was going to be my summary too. Sophia, can they yes or no, and why?
I'd say no, because they've just got that really bad dip in form again. Like they had that really good run of form like a couple of months ago, and now it's just dipped again. So I think one of like just the better teams is going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, Charles, yes or no? Reasons why. And there's about 20 people here, 21 people. So if you haven't liked the stream, share, subscribe. Charles?
No. Do I have to give an explanation?
You don't have to.
I mean, injuries, Zlatan's back next leg, Zlatan's back next leg, Zlatan's back next leg, Rashford's injured, Pogba's injured, there is major injury. Zlatan's, did I say Zlatan's back? Did you hear that? Zlatan is back. I don't think I mentioned that enough. He is back. Let me tell you now.
I'm so happy there's like 2 screens between you guys.
I know. I'm not even playing.
It would just be so funny. It would just be so funny if Zlatan actually comes back and we still win. It would just be so funny.
Do you know what? I like I said.
I'm humbling myself.
This is why I said 60-40 for if you're fit. But for me personally, I don't think it's going to be like an absolute annihilation. I've never said that. But Zlatan is that person that can make the difference. If you have Rashford injured, I mean, how do you know Zlatan is not my Jesus? How do you know this, Alex? How do you know this? How do you know that I don't believe in the Zlatanic religion? How do you know this? How do you know this? How do you know this? Yeah. I feel like it's gone real wrong here. I meant this is a religion. It's gone real wrong real quick. But no, I'm not saying I'm not saying it's going to be an absolute annihilation. I don't think it will. But what I do think is that United and Milan will get a goal each, and I think that for me personally, I believe that Zlatan will be that to get the final goal. And I'm not saying it's going to be a good one, but I think it will finish. Hold on, let me do me maths. 3-2. Sorry, my maths was a little bit slow there. I think it'd be 3-2 to Milan. I'm not saying it's going to be like an annihilation, but yeah, just with all the injuries you've got and like the downward dip you've kind of been on, like I'm like, I don't know. Like if you'd have been on the point
up against a team that no one expects us to beat, like the City.
No, I get that, but my point is, I said before you got Milan, I said that United were looking to win the Europa League. However, you've kind of gone on a little bit of a dip now. You've got Milan, which isn't, for me personally, if I was Chelsea and we were in this, which we're not, but I'm just saying, I wouldn't want my team to get Milan. I would be like, nope, no thank you, take that back. Because it's not like an easy run to get through. They give you a fight. I don't know, it depends. Like you do have you have the capability, but you I mean, yes, I see KJ, but let me tell you something now. Just because you're 12 games unbeaten doesn't mean you've played well.
Yeah.
So can we talk about the
you know,
the two games you draw? The 2 games you drew.
Games, or is it 21 away?
Unbeaten. Yeah.
No, I understand that.
Record is excellent.
No, I get that, but I mean, if you're looking at the 12 games unbeaten, the last 2 games were draws, 0-0, so no goals at all. And to be fair, you guys were lucky to get that. I mean, I'm not being horrible, but for me personally, there should have been goals in the Chelsea United game. There should have been goals in the Crystal Palace United game, but
Chelsea should have scored them.
Yeah, no, I've had
You're lucky that we can't do that yet.
I've had this debate, but unfortunately, I'm still. Look, Beatrice, I'm still trying to teach Demo Werner what a goal is. I'm trying to teach him. Like, I have to take him to Specsavers, show him what a goal is, show him he's not playing rugby. He thinks he's playing rugby, you know. Like, I'm a little bit. I'm struggling with his Specsavers site, and like the fact that he thinks he's playing rugby, but he has to get it over the goal, and that's my problem. You know, we'll get it sorted next season. I promise you that one. But I'm not ruling out United. But for me, I don't think you'll win the Europa League. I'm not saying you won't get past Milan. You might shock us, but I don't think you'll win it now.
Right, so before we move on to preview our weekend games and wrap it up quickly, so we're going to quickly preview and like predict scores for 3 quite important games that are going to affect us all, I think. Quick question for B and any of the other Manchester United fans in the chat right now. Would you take Kessie?
To be honest, at this point, I'd probably take anyone.
In terms of like, because we've discussed how obviously you guys have an issue with lack of squad depth. Like now you have injuries to keep playing.
Yeah.
Your bench is a bit underwhelming. Whereas I'm not gonna lie, if I was a Man United fan, I looked over and I saw that bench, I'd be like, bro.
Now every week I never look at the bench because there's no point. When we've got our first 11, there's no one else to bring on. Everyone's worse. Like there's actually no point. So Ole waits to the last possible moment to even make subs because there's no one to bring on. So I would take anyone.
Yeah, KJ says he's better than our other midfielders, but he's in levels above. So as like a squad player for rotation.
Yeah. But then Van de Beek doesn't get played. I don't know. I'd take him anyway. So
it's true. You can never have enough players. Just look at us in City. So let's quickly preview and score predict 3 very important games before we sign off and go. So literally, just going to go around. Everybody just tell me your score predictions very, very quickly. So the first game, Manchester United versus West Ham. Just your score predictions. B, let's start with you.
Oh, can you start with someone else just for this one?
All right. We'll go back this way this time, okay? Charlotte, score prediction for United versus West Ham.
You know what? This is an interesting game. West Ham don't have Lingard, and I think everyone's bringing that up. But my point is, West Ham were doing fine without Lingard. But they were doing fine without Lingard, so I don't think it's that big a deal. West Ham, this is the furthest, like the longest they've kept up is competing for top 4 in a long time. They always kind of drop out. For me personally, I think it's going to be a draw, and I actually think it's going to be 2-2.
Okay, Sophia, score.
I think 2-1 to United.
Interesting. Ooh. Beth, score.
0-0. I'm
gonna say 1-0 to United.
Is it at home?
We're at home.
Then I take that back. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. I take those extra 2 goals back. If you guys are at home, it's 1-1. You guys. I
think because of United's poor home record, I'm gonna go for 1-1. If it was away, I would actually say United will probably win it, to be honest. So that's tough. Next one is of course Chelsea Leeds. B, do you feel okay starting with you? Because it's not your team.
I'm gonna say 3-2 to Chelsea.
Interesting.
Right. Well, Leeds have a leaky defence, which is going to be nice for us. But they do always have a goal in them, so I think it'll be 2-1.
Okay, Sophia.
I'm gonna go with 3-1 to us.
Charles.
Annihilation Central, here we come. 3-0, leaky defence, ramming through you. Don't care if we have Timo Werner who doesn't know what a goal is. Let me tell you now. He doesn't need to know what a goal is. Like, I'm sorry, Chelsea are winning 3-0. No goals conceded. Eduardo Mendy's on his 18th clean sheet. Let's keep it that way. I'm ready for this.
Yeah, because we're back, KJ. You're right. We are back.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
don't
saying
know, we can still six.
crazy for like,
No, but
I'm
do you know what? I'm
sure,
not saying
got
this.
it.
No, we can't say Chelsea are back because that's like saying Arsenal are back. And look at Arsenal right now. I can't deal with this.
You
I'm
just said
sorry.
you were going to finish second, so you have to
Yeah,
be back.
no.
Yeah,
That's
we're
cool.
back.
No. I can say we're gonna finish second, but I refuse to say we are back until the end of the season. Until the
I'm
end of the
going
season.
to.
Because
Okay,
I'm not having any cursing. I'm not having any Jews like scraped on me and chucked on me. So like Chelsea don't turn up. No, none of that.
guys, let's
I'm not
move on.
saying we're performing good.
Move on to the last game so we can finish on time. But I'm going to agree with Sophia. I think we're going to beat them 3-1. And it's the North London derby. Spurs versus Arsenal. Score predictions, B.
I'm going to go with 2-1 Arsenal.
Okay. By the way, this is taking place in the Emirates. Beth?
Okay. All right. Tottenham do like to bend over for Arsenal. I think Tottenham will win it. I think Tottenham will win it. I think it'll be like 2-0 to Tottenham, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think 2-0 to Tottenham as well.
Charles?
Yeah, I don't. Do you know what the problem I have is? I don't know who I want to get beat more. Mourinho, so I can take the piss out of Prime, or Arteta, so I can banter Arsenal fans. But I feel like I've been bantering Arsenal fans all season. So like, I'm ready for Spurs to lose. Arsenal 2-1.
Man, I've been bantering Arsenal fans for 10 years, to be honest. I'm going to go
I was trying to be nice there.
I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw, to be honest, because I think they're both as bad as each other, both picked up a little bit of recent form. Apparently, Bale is back, so we shall see. But guys, that brings us to another amazing show. B, thank you so much for coming on and representing Manchester United. I hope you don't hate us too much.
I just hope we finish above you for the second season in a row.
Boy, if we do, guys.
Just to clarify, I can see B like being like, yeah, at the end of the season when she finishes above us, being like, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just looking down at you now.
Direct this energy to David. He deserves it more, okay? David deserves it.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry. David's
She'll
got
quit
it coming.
the show when they win the Europa League, and we're all saying no.
Oh my god, yeah. So quite a lot of draw predictions in the chat as well. Ads predicts a 1-0 to Arsenal. So before we get out of here, guys, let everybody know where they can find you. B, let's start with you.
So you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram. My @ is on the screen, and you can find me on Midnight Vibes on the Football Terrace or at Gold Diggers UK on YouTube.
Cheese. That's right. B, look out for a message from this guy because I'm guessing you're going Beth, where can everybody find you?
So I'm on Twitter at KingKaiFC and KingKai Remontada. Let's go. Right. And I'm on here at 8 p.m. on Fridays for the Chelsea Lady Show. Sometimes I go on the Football Terrace, which is nice too. Yeah.
It is always nice to see you on the Football Terrace. Beth, Sophia, where can everybody find your lovely face now that she's back with us?
So my Instagram is _suburban dreams. I just want to say quickly off topic in regards to social media. I am still really disgusted by the abuse and racism that's going on that I see on Twitter and on Instagram, especially towards players. And I just don't understand like the football community. It just needs to stop. It's just, it's depressing, the abuse and just everything online at the moment. It's just really, especially me, it's just really putting me down, especially like towards football players as well. It's just, there is just no fucking need for it. Like, honestly,
like big ups to you for mentioning that because
yes, fair.
I didn't mean to like say that on live stream. I've been like so busy.
Right, like we need to be talking about this more. Like obviously,
do you know what I don't understand about it?
Clouds TV, I saw the stream that you did with on Bits and Bob's channel with so many other panelists as well.
Yeah, that was a banging show. Well done.
Really good
Discussions
show.
like that. So big ups to you, Sophia, for bringing that up. Big ups to B for participating in the stream. Beth, Shah, I know you guys have been involved in so many other streams to do with like racism, mental health and stuff. So big ups to all of you guys for doing that as well. Shah, before we sign off, let's tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me, my underscores at the bottom of the screen on for Instagram and Twitter. You can find me on here at 8 p.m. You can find me at 9 p.m. on the terrace Friday for Kendall show. You can find me on Strong TV, my YouTube channel, where tomorrow I will have in the lovely Lambs who co-host my show, the Wine and Football Show. We have an amazing panel lined up for tomorrow. Make sure you check it out. And I'll be doing a watch along for the Leeds game tomorrow morning. Early kickoff. The death of us.
Yay! She's right. Definitely tune in. You do not want to miss our Wine and Football Show as well. And as you can find me here on GNA TV. I host the show with Sphere and our beautiful, lovely lady panelists, all of our special guests. I'm also on Midnight Vibe Show with B on Football Terrace. You can catch me over there. I'm on Charles' channel, Strong TV. We do Wine Football Show together. And I'm just here and there in the YouTube sphere, just doing live streams, reviews, just out here. And on socials, I am on Instagram, so that's my handle over there, and that's where you can find me. Guys, in the chat, if you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe, tell your mother, brother, sister, and we shall see you guys all next week.
It's like it's playtime and it's free time. In the dance, they have to take a glance, we stepping out the